transit-oriented developments, or TODs, which create communities around public transport hubs, are increasingly being adopted by cities across Asia. Here to expound on this is Govinda Singh from Colliers and Preston Soon from MindLinks Group. Govinda, let's begin with you. Why have TODs become a key part of urban renewal?
TODs were previously seen as a way to collateralize valuable real estate to essentially improve the payback for infrastructure projects. They have now evolved into a structure to facilitate urban renewal and activation, tapping into captive footfall. In today's rapidly urbanizing world, TODs are emerging as essential solutions for sustainable, efficient, and vibrant cities. By combining residential, commercial, and retail spaces around public transportation hubs, TODs create walkable, mixed-use environments that enhance quality of life and drive economic growth.
I think this is a natural progress for cities as their population demand more and more services from their government. So making use of the transit hub is actually make a lot of sense, especially in Singapore, where we are basically land scarce, and we have no other choice but to have a place where everybody can live, work, and play in one place. It saves the country a lot of resources in terms of time and manpower to the benefit of the whole society, and it is important.
Just a follow-up on that, how do TODs affect public transit usage and urban sprawl?
Now, just imagine when a community, I'm not talking about one group of community, but it's a large group of community of people who are working, who are studying, and who are playing, and who are also recreating, all coming to one place. As they interact with each other, their activities will grow. Then they will improve on terms of offering as well, because as the transit infrastructure being improved over time, more and more building, more and more shopping mall is being added into that one locality. The footfall, the public transit usage will definitely increase, and it's a very natural progress.
Yeah, just to what Preston says, I think the whole idea behind a TOD is indeed to increase public transit usage, whilst also creating what we could call a community social district. Hence now there's a lot of talk about a 5-minute city or the 15-minute city. The whole idea is to reduce reliance on private modes of transport and creating a more sustainable mobile environment.
So considering everything that you've just mentioned earlier, how do higher office rents in TOD districts impact vacancy rates?
TODs would usually draw in, or developers of TODs would have office grade A plus office space, which naturally we could expect to attract higher rents. And this is clear in evidence if you look at Futian in Shenzhen and King's Cross in London, for example. Not only they've been able to draw in big anchor tenants like Google, Meta, OpenAI, for example, that's in this new tech enclave that is King's Cross. They're able to drive those higher rents, and indeed, looking at the statistics, the rents there can be about as much as a fifth of higher than prime office rents in similar locations in those cities. So there's a lot to say there. And also by attracting these great or high-end tenants, for example, it also brings in and draws in a wider community of people. So we do have lower vacancy rates coming out naturally as well.
Yes, I think rising rental for TOD projects or development is rather inevitable. The reason being that, like I said, I can give you an example in Singapore, the Jurong East TODs area. It started with the Jurong East MRT station, which is an interchange anyway. And then you added Jurong Gateway. And then over time, you add another shopping center called GEMS. And then after that, you add another condominium just next to it, Jurong Gateway condo. So what does it mean? It means to say that the value, the perceived value of the transit hub is actually growing. So when you have a better potential in that one locality with higher footfall and with more business activity and with more variety of transport infrastructure. But as a property participant in Singapore, I mean, my lead group I'm referring to, which is a property agency, what we can do is we recognize the trend of rising costs of the rental. But what we do is last year, we came up with a fixed rate property agency work services. That means, if say for example, for a owner who wants to sell a condominium in that area, they don't need to pay 1, 2, or 3% as a commission fee. They just pay a fixed rate of less than $5,000, and then that is one way. As an active property real estate agency, we want to participate and we want to help owners to cut down in costs. Hopefully, that will mitigate some bit of impact on the rising costs.
President is correct. Inevitably, part of a TOD is to regenerate or bring new life into areas that perhaps were neglected in the past. And we can see that everywhere. And in fact, we can say Singapore is effectively an entire TOD in itself. So based around Changi Airport, look at what's happened to Singapore since Changi became an international hub.
Thank you so much for sharing your insights and for joining us today, Govinda and Preston.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Once again, those were Govinda Singh, Executive Director of Hotels, Leisure, and Real Estate Advisory in Asia for Colliers, and Preston Soon, Senior Sales Director for MindLinks Group. For more news, visit realestateasia.com.